Hey guys, we've got a lot of confusion about how to cite our quotes. Since every paragraph you are writing for me requires 2 quotes inside the paragraph. So here I've got a list of multiple quotes. The top 2 you might recognize as being from To Kill a Mockingbird. This 4th one down here is from Night. And this 5th one is a really cool quote from our president during the Great Depression and the beginning of World War I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, otherwise known as FDR. So I'm going to show you guys how these were correctly cited in paragraphs. Okay, so as you can see, the first quote was spoken by Calpurnia on page 32. I'm going to click here to an exemplar paragraph. Okay, shouldn't be highlighted. Okay, so let's go find that quote again. Here we've got Calpurnia. As you can see right here, I wrote there, cook Calpurnia privately reprimands her, saying, okay, so that's my intro to evidence. It tells you who said it. Note, I did not put Calpurnia in the citation afterwards. The only place you put Calpurnia's name is in the intro to evidence. That's why I had you guys keep it, but that doesn't go in the citation. What goes in the citation after the quote, there's some folks who don't eat like us, but you ain't called on to contradict them at the table, you hear, is the last name of the author of the book, which is Lee. The author is Harper Lee. And then the page number. Please pay attention. There are no commas or PG or P or anything in there. It's just Lee 32. And then look at this. We've got the question mark. The punctuation from this quote actually goes after the citation. So you have quotation mark, parentheses, author's last name, page number, parentheses, punctuation. Now, my next quote that I used in there, I'll go back to my quotes here. We've got this really teeny tiny quote by Scout where she says that Walter's just a Cunningham. Now, I didn't count that as an entire quote for this example. You'll see that I actually had a third quote, but I used this just a Cunningham to explain Scout's defense, I guess, of how she was talking to Walter. So let's go back to the quote. You'll see that I said Scout had forgotten her manners. Scout felt she had good reason to criticize Walter, as she said. So right here, we've got Scout in the intro to evidence. As she said, he was just a Cunningham. Now, you'll note here, once again, I've got quotation mark, parentheses, but I only have the page number here because I haven't quoted anything else other than To Kill a Mockingbird in here. So once I've put the author's name, I only have to put it once. The next time, as you can see here and here, I quote again from To Kill a Mockingbird. I only have to put the page number because I've already said the author once. Now, if I were to quote from another source in between, I would have to then repeat Lee 33. But I don't have to say Lee again, since all I've quoted for him is the book here. Okay, so you'll see in this, here's my third quote that I have. Your folks might be better than the Cunninghams, but it don't count for nothing the way you're disgracing them. I said again, my intro to evidence, Calpurnia refutes this thinking as she smacks Scout's bum and retorts. Then you've got the quote, and you'll see once again, we've got quotation marks, parentheses, page number, parentheses, and the punctuation, which was just a period. Okay, so let's look at how I put this into my 11th grade, quote into the 11th grade exemplar paragraph. We've got Madame Schechter, and she said this on page 25. She said, Jews, listen to me. I see a fire. I see flames, huge flames. Okay, let's look at the 11th grade exemplar. Right here, okay, we've got the intro to evidence in Elie Wiesel's novel Night. Mrs. Schechter had a vision about the fires at Auschwitz. So that tells us who's saying this, okay? But the Jews didn't understand her terrified screams about it, okay? We've got quotation mark, Jews, listen to me. I see a fire. I see flames, huge flames. Oops, that exclamation point does not go there. It goes right here. Come on, work for me, computer. Okay. When my computer starts working again, I'll change that. Okay, so You can see we've got Wiesel, that's the author, not Madame Schechter, not Mrs. Schechter. Wiesel, the author of the book. Okay, and 25. Yes, I had you guys write down who the speaker was and the page number, but that was so that you guys could do this. You have the speaker in the intro to evidence and the page number after the author. Okay, later on you'll see that the same book is quoted again right here, and all we put was page 26 because we already know that it was from Wiesel and we didn't quote anything else in between. Our last quote here is by FDR, saying the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You'll see that it is here at the end of the paragraph. A famous quote by Franklin Roosevelt says, okay, so there's your intro to evidence. And then here we have the quote. And then we had to go online to find a source for this quote. And it was FDR's, the very first line of the works cited page citation is the title of the article in which, or the internet publication in which we found it. FDR's first inaugural address, and there was actually a longer title, but you only have to use the first 4 words of the title. So as you can see, this is how we cite. Hopefully you guys can get that down a little better after watching this video. Email me with any questions. Bye.